Hey everybody, how's it going? We're here with a timeless reading. Welcome. First card out is Three of Cups. And Four of Swords. Three of Cups and Four of Swords gives the feeling of entering into a space, whether you go somewhere or this is just like mentally something that you're checking into, that's like a no stress environment. So there can be like an event that you're going to where you just get to have fun and connect and you get to relax and unwind. It's feeling like that. Or you get to spend time with somebody that you care about, or you're getting to do something that feels just like, it feels like a non-stressful thing, whatever this is. So I don't know if you're taking a break or a vacation or just like going to do something fun. For some of you it involves another person or other people, or there's something that's being celebrated, or it's about like connecting and getting together. Whatever it is, it's about relaxing. It's not supposed to be stressful. So I'm seeing that be what we're starting here with. Like a fun, easygoing type of thing, or just like being able to plug back in. Time of solitary thought as well. I'm seeing Hermit. You can be spending some time alone reviewing things as well. Seems like this time off or this moment to yourself allows you to sort of sit in that space and reflect. It seems like without being interrupted as well, or without having something that you need to do, you can just sort of like check in and sit with this. I am seeing the Queen of Cups, so emotional matters can definitely be coming to the surface here. It looks like something that is going to be coming up. I don't know if you see this yet. It looks like it's coming up ahead, but you could be faced in a different direction. Yes. Okay. I'm seeing that something is going to be entering the scene, entering the picture. You either know about this, but it's not time for this to be happening yet, or you don't know about this and you will soon be knowing about this, but it feels like regardless of what it is, can be like an opportunity, a door that opens, that type of thing. It's connected with the future. So even if you do know about it or you're soon to know about it, it feels like it's going to be something that is taking place further along. Okay? Some of you don't know about this yet, but you're soon going to know about this. But it's something that can feel like an area of potential growth within your life. So it'll give that type of energy. It's something where it's like you could nurture that thing, or you could take care of it, or you could walk through that door and it's going to lead somewhere else. It's not like a dead end. This is something that would feel like opportunity. It would open a path for you like that. A place to aim your energy. It can also be it seems like a path to somewhere you may be interested in going, like that. You could have been looking for an opportunity like this too, but it just wasn't time for it to come through yet. Okay. You had been involved in, engaged in something that could have felt pretty like psychologically or mentally taxing. I'm seeing that it looks like you're transitioning or like migrating out of that and into a period that's going to feel more restful. It's going to feel less stressful. So I'm seeing that be a move that's being made currently, it seems like. Something about who you spend time with can be involved in this, because it feels like socializing or interpersonal relationships have something to do with this. So maybe there was something going on with someone or with people in your life and you felt like it was becoming too stressful or taxing in some way. It looks like you're going to be, I'm getting confirmation of that. It looks like you're going to be meeting another person or a new person or new people, or it can just be like a shift where somebody or people that you weren't hanging out with, you are going to sort of interchange. You're going to be hanging out with them then. I'm seeing something along the lines of that. This would be something that would feel right for you, because it seems like you could have felt like you were outgrowing a situation, or that it was like too stressful that you weren't really able to get what you needed from it, or it wasn't feeling right for you. Something like that. So you could have been engaging because that was like your go-to situation, and then you could have been like, this actually is not really the way that I'm looking to connect, and you could have felt like you were missing something because of that, is what this seems like. And it could have actually been more just stressful or chaotic in your life. So even though you were seeking something, you could have felt like you kind of weren't really finding it. And also it seems like you could have been immersing yourself in something that felt stressful or unstable in some way, or just like sort of put you through a lot mentally. And could have felt like it left you feeling a bit depleted. Your mental energy more than anything, even though this feels like a way that you were maybe looking to connect or something, like more of your water energy. I do get the vibe too that in you taking this time, which it feels like in the middle of all of this, I'm seeing you thinking about potential change within your life and like the tides shifting from a standpoint of feeling like, what do I need emotionally within my life, or what am I looking for, or what is the vibe that feels right for me to be around right now? Is there stuff that's going on that I feel like I'm a part of but it's not really resonating with me? Those sorts of things that are being thought about. I'm seeing that there's going to be new opportunity for connection that you are moving in the direction of if you continue to migrate. And I'm seeing that it's going to feel like an auspicious change of some sort, having the Wheel of Fortune here. This is going to come in when the time is right. So it'll feel good in that way where it's serendipitous like that. For some of you, even a little bit unexpected. Like somebody matching your energy in the right way. All right. Pulling our focus back into the middle. Having Hermit and having the Death card feels like you thinking about some stuff in your life where you're like, I don't think that this is right for me anymore, or I'm ready to grow here, but it can also be asking you for a surrender of sorts. I do feel again like this comes back into some type of social thing for you, social, emotional, like that. So maybe there's a connection that you have, or certain connections that you have where you're like, I feel like I've outgrown these, or they're not resonating with me anymore. This is too much drama for me. and I'm ready kind of for a change. I'm ready to see what else is out there, or I'm ready to like find new connections or renew old connections. It'll be like that. But whatever it is, I'm seeing it's going to feel like a changing of seasons that's happening. And it feels like this is what you want, even if it can feel like sacrifice now for something better later on. It will definitely feel like that. You're going to have to surrender something. So like with this change that comes through, even though you will like eventually get what you want from it, it does feel like there's going to be a shift for you personally. But this is also part of, it's definitely connected with your growth for sure. Like just the evolution of this aspect of your journey. You can also feel too like the level where you are now. Maybe you want connections where you feel more understood, and that can be something that you weren't feeling before. Like maybe there's certain things that are important to you where you were like, I feel like that's not what I'm getting out of this anymore, and I'm looking for connections that feel like, you know, people that have interests that are more similar to mine, so I can feel seen and I can feel connected and I can get to talk about these things that are important to me, like the ways that you're looking to connect. And so what this will feel like in comparison is that maybe something that you're migrating away from now feels like this is familiar to me. At the same time, I feel like I'm looking to connect in different ways than I'm able to in this current situation or these current situations. And even if this means I'm gonna have to spend some time in solitude for a minute as I'm like finding these new things, I'm seeing these new connections. Some of you, there is going to be like a standout connection. It is definitely available to you, and it is going to come at the right time. This feels like a time, you know, sometimes we go through periods where there's more socializing and then less socializing, and then there will be a new person or new people that come through. It feels like you're going to enter into like an interim space. So the sacrifice, it feels like, is that you may be sort of like isolated for a little bit or like on your own for a little bit, but it's like the small sacrifice you make to then connect with relationships that are going to feel of more resonance currently where you are, because you can feel like you're in the middle of a shift right now where you're like, this isn't so much resonating with me, but then what is going to be? And I'm trying to like make those new connections, or again renew those old connections. And so this is the transition that's currently being made. I'm seeing Virgo, I'm hearing Pisces, and I'm also seeing Scorpio here too, and we have Jupiter as well. But I'm definitely saying that if you decide to do this, you're not going to meet a dead end. I'm seeing 2 aces here, which means that there are going to be multiple new chapters that will be starting for you. And you can also feel too like this is going to be a time where you get to connect more with yourself. Like there's going to be less of a distraction from the drama or chaos of other people, more of a tuning in and really feeling where you are, like what is my core vibration right now and what feels important to me, and then how am I looking to share that within my relationship or relationships with others or another. And then you're going to easily recognize like when those things appear within your life, and they very much will with Jupiter here. Jupiter will give you what you're looking for. It's like it just asks a change of you having it paired with the Death card here, and then also to having Hermit. This is about really thinking about like what's not really working for you right now and what would work better. So again, you'll recognize that when those opportunities present themselves. I want to bring the focus back on this Ace of Wands that's coming up like behind you where you can't see this yet. It feels like most of you don't know that this is going to be happening yet, but I am seeing that during this period of introspection, something is about to present itself to you when you're in that period, and it's something that you don't see, but it feels very much like you don't go looking for this. It feels like it presents itself to you. See how Queen of Cups is here, and you have this Ace of Wands here. Queen of Cups is looking over here at Hermit, which means that you're sort of in a period of seclusion by yourself, like thinking about things. Thinking about things having to do with your internal world. and your emotions and your feelings and sentiments, things like that, your spirituality, energy. This Ace of Wands, see how it's coming behind this person's back? It's gonna feel like that, where it just like presents itself. It feels almost like an out of the blue type of thing, but I'm seeing this is gonna be happening later. It's gonna be happening later. But this is part of the changes that you're implementing, or have the intention of implementing, it seems. If you really do go through with this, all of it is going to be up to you what you want to do here. Because some of you could maybe like start this transition and then be like, I don't care, I don't want to be lonely anymore, and like go back to it. Others of you will be like, no, this will be worth it for me. It's fine if I'm gonna have to like be on my own for a little bit. You know, that also doesn't mean you have to cut off like every single connection. It can just mean you're not socializing in the same exact way that you were before. But this means you would only be doing that with interactions that felt like they were coming up short. So this doesn't mean like now I have to cut everybody off. This is like, you know, those situations that you go into being like I'm looking for something, or I'm looking to connect, and then you do it and you walk away like feeling empty, or feeling like it took more than it gave from you, and you're like, why do I keep going back to this? Like, it's not resonating with me, and I keep going back in and the same thing keeps happening. It's those situations, just to be clear. So this isn't like give up all of your relationships or anything like that. It's just the stuff that you know isn't working. And when you sit with yourself and you reflect on that, you know that. And for each of you, it can be different. For some of you, it can be like 95% of the people that you have been hanging out with. Others of you, maybe it's going to be like 20% of your friends, whatever this may be. That's up for you and your discernment to decide for yourself. But yeah, there will definitely be new opportunities to socialize for sure coming up. It feels like this is just making the room, making the space for that. Like just something that interesting. I was seeing this some little plant just was floating by. I forget what it's called, but it was like a clump of something of three just floating by. What is coming to mind here is that, let's say that there was somebody or a group of people that you were hanging out with, but you kept feeling like unfulfilled every time you would. Like, I'm not really having fun doing this anymore. Like, I feel like every time I go to talk, like I'm being talked over, or this stuff is important to me and like nobody here I can talk to them about that. When you sort of migrate away from that, even if you're like, hey guys, like I need some time to my own right now, you don't need to like X out all of your relationships. It can just be like, I'm gonna spend some time with myself for now. In this time that you be spending by yourself, you may do things where you're like, like what do I feel like I want to do today, or what's something that I've been like really interested in lately, or something that just like sparks joy for me today. And then you like go to some place that you want to go to, and then you end up like meeting someone there. You know, it can be like these types of things where if you were hanging out with like the old crowd in an unfulfilling way, you would have never like ventured out in that direction, and you wouldn't like make those connections. So it's stuff that can happen very naturally like that, but in sort of an unsuspecting way where you're just doing you, and then you end up sort of finding yourself in these situations that, because this was like an active place of resonance for you, where you were doing something where you checked in and you were like, what do I need, or what do I want today, or what feels interesting to me, and you move in that direction, it ends up like pooling other things that happen at the right time for you. Just an example of how something like this can work out pragmatically. Speaking this into existence. I wonder if you already feel like you're sort of getting closer and closer to this change. Some of you could already be in the middle of this as well. If this is your intention, this is what will come to be. Manifesting the type of future that you want. I'm seeing something here too about your words, needing to make sure that your words are in alignment with your intention here. So if you're like looking to meet new people or make new connections or intending for that to happen, it's about sort of getting yourself in that space where you're like willing to socialize, you know, or leave your house, whatever it needs to be. Like, do the practical things where you're like, if I'm thinking in that way, then I will do things as would like follow that train of thought. And also too, like when opportunities present themselves, it's about being in that space where you are mentally open to them. So, you know, like you're wherever you are and you bump into somebody and it's like, oh, like asking them how their day is, or like being friendly, like not being shut down, you know, because it's like you're not going to have somebody be like, be friends with me for the most part, you know, if that's one of the things that you're looking for here. It's about being in that mindset of, oh, this could be a potential opportunity, like let me explore that, or let me see what's going on here, because I'm seeing like things really will present themselves, but you also have to do the stuff on your end too. It's not going to be, for the most part, usually somebody walking up to you and being like, I've been waiting for you, I've known that you were manifesting this, you know, like it's going to be more natural than that, the way that things happen. And so being in a space where you're like open to being in that creative process of manifesting these things, that's how it's made possible. So when opportunities present themselves, which they will, it's about being willing to make those connections. And this feels like mental, psychological connections that you would have, where you can feel like on an intellectual level you can match or meet or connect, and then also on an emotional or a spirit and or spiritual level. I'm seeing like both of those things feeling important. Some of you, there's somebody that's going to be coming into your life that's a bit of a talker, I am seeing. I do want to say this again, even though I've said it a few times already. This is something that's going to be happening, but it's not right now. This middle part of spending time with yourself is really an important part of this process, where it feels like it feels like a clearing out energetically. So you feel like you're entering into the new cycle in the right space. So you're sort of ready for the next chapter to be happening. So it means that you're sort of like finishing the stuff here. It's a recognition and migration. Here is sort of the time of some like isolation, or just some, I'm kind of keeping to myself a little bit more, and then I'm seeing like new chapter, potential opportunity, and then whatever you decide to do with that, with what presents itself to you. Because it seems like the ball is sort of in your court in that way then, and you get to decide what you want to do. Gonna be a new chapter for you socially. Feels like this is hermit spending time. You are hermit in this situation, spending time reflecting on a transition that is going to be happening, or that is already sort of in the midst of happening. It's about an opportunity, intention to manifest, going to be migrating, spending time doing what you need to do for yourself to get into the right headspace and to like declutter your life, it seems. So you feel like you're ready to sort of take on what next is presenting itself to you. There's a change and an expansion that you're going to be going through. This is definitely going to impact you on an emotional level too. So it can feel like more opportunity, more connection, definitely more of what you've been looking for. And sort of in this moment, seeing into the future and where things are leading. I do feel like there are going to be periods of this cycle that may be a little bit more difficult than others. But if you're in this space where you're keeping in mind sort of the big picture of what you're intending to do here, it is something that you will absolutely see happening, okay? Because I'm seeing the universe is on board with you, working with you through this if this is something that you want. Okay. Where are things going to be more difficult than not? I'm seeing it have to do with, for some of you, there may be some tough stuff that's going to be concluding, which means that if there are some things that are like, now you have to pick, like, do you want time alone or you want to spend time with me regarding your old stuff? Some of you may be ending some cycles, you know, and like having to do some difficult things, but only when you know that it's already not something that's in alignment for you. Again, this isn't stuff that's going to feel like, oh, this is a perfect thing within my life, or I really love this in my life and I sort of like get what I need from it, and now for some reason I'm just saying no and cutting it off. This is the kind of stuff that'll be like, oh, this actually isn't working. And so in like migrating away, you know, sometimes people are going to be like not liking that and want to push you into, it's either a yes or a no, or you want this friendship or you don't, or this relationship or you don't, you know, and then whatever happens and going along with the process of that. So that can be some stuff that feels difficult, like some stuff that you, again, like having the death card here, it may ask you to surrender some things, but the new energy is going to be ushered in, so it will definitely be worth it for you. You know, this is for more of a sense of composite harmony within your life. So that's what I'm seeing is going on here. All right. Scorpio and Virgo and Jupiter and Mercury here. Just be patient with this, see this through, and you will get the results that you want from this. A lot of potential will come of this. I'm seeing 2722 on the time. If you look up the angel number, if you just like Google it, that can give you more insight as to what this is referring to. All right, my friends, we're going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everyone for connecting. Thank you for tuning in. I'm sending everybody love, and I hope to catch you guys next time.